Buonasera. How are you all doing tonight? So, here we are in the kitchen, and it's been a while. My hair's kind of falling down. Let's do this. Here's a quick fix. Should I do it this way? Anyway. Alright, so, just so you know, I was feeling compelled to come live and share a little kitchen action, little kitchen catch-up. Drink, hydrate. I was with my dad this afternoon. We went for dinner at a Thai restaurant, which was really, really yummy. I am going to check something real quick. Doobie-doobie-doo. We'll share this into the group. Uh-oh, I see what is going on, y'all. Because it's not public, y'all don't see me. You should see me now. Catch me now, live in the kitchen. I had a feeling something just wasn't quite right. Check your settings. Mercury's still kind of acting up on us. You might not have even known that I had gone live, but for some reason, it just wasn't working properly. Come join me. Will you now? Alrighty, so let's do this. It is Thanksgiving, and what do you have to be grateful for? I am exceptionally grateful to be alive. And if you've been following me on Instagram, you would also know that I recently posted a picture that the other day was the 3-month post-operative surgery of having my appendix removed. So, here I am, catching up on connecting with all of y'all. So much to be grateful for. So much to be grateful for. I want to know in the comments, what do you have to be grateful for today? What have you been reflecting upon? What has brought you so much joy in your life? What has really brought your life into perspective? Sometimes it takes life or death situations, right, Suzanne? I mean, it's humbling when you think you're going to lose your sight, or you feel like you could possibly lose your life because you're in dire need of a kidney, for example. It's quite, it's what we call a come to Jesus moment. It's when source and soul says, hey, wake up. Sometimes it's a really big shake up. Sometimes it's a literal kick you in the you know what. And, we all have our ways of getting our sense and our wake-up calls. But, it really doesn't need to be so severe. I mean, literally, some people forget, when I woke up, I was having trouble sleeping, and I found out that I was having this extreme pain. I knew something wasn't right. And I'll tell you what, it was humbling, because I literally had to throw my hands up and surrender and actually admit, I have no answer for this. I'm not even going to try to guess. I know I need to go to the hospital. Don't let it come down to the point where you think, or you don't know, but you're unwilling, because the ego mind will act like it knows. It'll say, oh, I got this. I know what's going on. I'll figure it out. Well, guess what? Life is not so black and white. It is not so obvious. Sometimes you just need a... Because most of us are pretty strong-willed, right? I know I am. And if I'm strong-willed, I know I'm not the only one out there. When life comes down to that, okay, I think I need to admit, I have no idea and I don't have the answers. It's quite humbling. So my whole experience with ending up in the hospital and having to recognize that, I could have died. It took them 2 days to figure out that I even had a problem with my appendix. Why did it take 2 days? I mean, some people were like, wow, that's crazy that it took them that long. I'm just grateful that they figured it out. I'm grateful I wasn't, to the point where, because I was septic. I mean, my appendix had ruptured, and they had to go in, and because it was retrocecal, which means it was grown up underneath and attached to the underside of the large intestine. They had to go in and separate all of that. So that explains, I've still got pain down on my right hand side, but my entire abdomen had toxic buildup. And so, yes, I was on antibiotics. I'm not crazy about the antibiotics because my hair's been falling out like crazy lately. I mean, there's more hair in my trash in my bathroom right now that I've been looking at going, okay, I know this is from the antibiotics. I mean, my scalp was itchy and scratchy and flaky. It's still not quite right. You know, you can tell antibiotics mess up with your microbiome, your good belly bacteria, and it completely changes your insides. And ladies, we don't rarely talk about this, but it causes yeast buildup, it causes infection, it causes candida. And so I was cleaning house. I mean, I was cleaning up, and I shouldn't had to do all that. But it takes a while to get that stuff out of your system. And there are studies that have come out that there are heavy metal toxins in all of these antibiotics, these vaccines, all this stuff. And what does that do? That really messes with the brain. So I've been really working hard to clean up my system. So I'm going to share some things with y'all tonight. I was feeling like I was going to make applesauce earlier, and I ended up going out with Dad earlier than I thought. And so we're going to make some applesauce, a buttery, coconutty applesauce. And I really felt like something warm. I knew something about this time of year. It's nice to have that nice warm cup of something in our hands just to keep our hands nice and toasty. I've been doing a lot of warm teas, herbal teas at night. I was going to do some chocolate. I only have a little bit. But I'm going to opt out on the chocolate tonight because I don't want to overstimulate my body. I've been trying to stay off the caffeine because my neck has been acting up. And when I start getting pain in my neck, it means that I've been clenching my jaw. I wish I had some carob. I don't have any carob, unfortunately. But I still can come up with something. And it's going to be... I know what we'll make. We'll make a turmeric tea. We'll make a golden latte, a golden milk latte. That's always yummy. So I started out, and I've probably got maybe two tablespoons of hemp seeds in here right now. I've got hot water already brewed up. Great source of vitamin C for all of y'all out there. Rosehip powder. Yeah. Let me know in the comments how you're doing tonight. How are you spending your Thanksgiving? I mean, if you're tuning in here, then you're having a little bit of a break in between your festivities. I know that my family we used to get together for Thanksgiving, and Dad would do all the fixings, and yeah, it was mostly around the food. Everything in family was around the food, and you know, I really have to admit, my dad would start early in the day, and he would do the honey ham with the pineapple and the cherries, and then he would also do the turkey. He would make stuffing with the sausage in it, green beans, sweet potatoes, candied yams. I'm not crazy about the sweet stuff right now. I'm trying to keep the sugar down. The sugar is what will eat away at the sheath around your nerves. So those of you out there with fibromyalgia, nerve sensation issues, this is all stuff related to, look at your diet. How much sugar do you consume? And I also mean things like white rice, wheat and gluten. Those are the things that will wear away at that sheath, the protective layer of your nerves, as well as uric acid increase because it eats away at the synovial fluid. So all that sugar is so bad for us. I mean, the processed sugar. Oh, cool, Julie, friend's house. Yay. Oh, riding horses. Oh, that must have been so beautiful. I bet that was really enjoyable. So, continuing on as I try to talk and create. We'll talk and create, right? Sodaholic. Oh, I hear you, honey. We've got to find our healthy balances, when you're ready. Bless your food. Enjoy it when you're consuming it. Don't beat yourself up. It really is. Mind matters. Energy is where the focus. If you're in that beat yourself up mentality about what you're eating, you're already creating even worse energy with the food or whatever you're putting into your body. So I always say, enjoy what you eat, because no matter what, if you can put joy and love and imbue that with this experience that's so enriching and satisfying, then it won't be the same scenario as just because some of us are going through those motions. So we're going to make a golden milk latte. So this is really cool. This is one of my Meyer lemons. Looky, looky, looky. How pretty is that? Look how big that is. Look at the size of my hand, okay? Size of my hand is bigger than my palm. I'm going to use some of the rind in this, which is so cool. I was showing my dad. Dad goes, I've never seen a Meyer lemon look like that before. I said, well, it's from my tree. I don't expect you to see it. And the best is that you can use the rind, which is what I mostly like to use. And the rind makes it so much, rind is full of so much vitamin C. A lot of the stuff out there is covered with wax, which really stinks. No, really. And then we're going to take about this much of the lemon out because we're going to use some of this for the applesauce. And believe it or not, the rind is very beneficial as well. Yum. We're going to add some turmeric. I have coconut milk. In fact, I know for anybody who's been watching me long enough, you know that I lick the knife. Yes, I've also cut my tongue with the knife. Oh, look at this. Okay. This is so pretty. I'm going to keep this. This is a sprouted Meyer lemon seed. Oops, it dropped. It's escaping me. Look at that. Tell me that's not the coolest. Definitely going to plant you because this is really strong. The way that it's coming out, look at that. It's already got its own little... It's a baby Meyer lemon sprout. Okay, that made my night. Okay. It's been a while, so I'm getting reacclimated to the camera. At least the live camera. If anybody is wondering why or thinking that I defriended them or unfriended them from my other account, it's not existent right now since mine and Tom's old accounts have both been disabled. Still unable to get access to them, which really stinks because nobody has access to the page. So that's why you haven't seen anything on the page. And I don't know how Facebook handles that. I mean, come on, people. How do you disable an account that has a running, reputation of admin and all that? I don't know. I think Facebook is totally crap, right? I shouldn't even say that, right? I'm kind of disappointed because it could have been a better platform than it is right now. I had a lot of faith in it when I first started doing my lives. And, I was in the middle of the fund. Most of you know I was trying to raise some money to get my teeth taken care of which, by the way, had to be put on the shelf and on hold because when Facebook disabled my account, I no longer had access to the fundraiser. So everything, I don't even know if there was more money in the account or what. I'm just kind of sad about the whole scenario. So I'm going to put nutmeg. I'm also going to use cardamom. Cardamom's also great. I put 2 sprinkles of some nutmeg. Cardamom is really beneficial as well. Let me see. I've got so much cardamom. What did I do with that? Oh, I put it in a container. I have been moving and shaking things around the kitchen lately. So here's the cardamom seeds. You have to be careful with these. These are so pungent when you get them fresh. That's probably all I need. Okay, maybe a little bit more because I do like it floral. It's a very strong floral flavor. Little lucuma because that's what I've used in the past that made it extra yummy. The kuma is, I believe, the egg fruit. If anybody knows the answer to that, please let me know in the comments. Probably going to heat this up. Probably going to add some banana too. Oh yeah, we got nanners on the nanner tree. Okay, almonds. We don't use almonds. We're going to do coconut, cashew cream that some ninja dropped off. I'm just trying this for the first time. So if you tried it, let me know about it. What have you found? Do you like it? Hey, coconut's a good thing. Ginger is always important. I'm kind of low on the ginger, but we've got just enough to cover both the applesauce. I can't wait to come see you either, or you come see me. Listen to me, I'm a little bit behind on my speech here. I'm looking forward to you coming to this side of the coast, Julie. All right, so we're going to use a little bit of ginger. The ginger is not the best. It's not the freshest I've ever had. I wish I had more. Hi, Brian. How you doing? Happy Thanksgiving. Brian and I went to school when we were in grade school. So it's been a very long time since I've seen you. Okay, the kuma's in there. All right, let us think. We need turmeric. Turmeric's the main ingredient in all of this, by the way. And then a little bit of black pepper, which you don't even taste. All right. I probably put maybe a quarter teaspoon in there. I'm not really overdoing it, because if you put too much turmeric, you'll know. And it doesn't taste so great. I'm going to use pepper. So yes, I have been feeling better, for those of you who've been wondering and asking as far as my appendix and putting on weight. I think I'm pretty good. And yes, I had a bike accident a little while ago. My scars have since healed significantly. You see that little dot, and the other one, well, that was exposed skin. It wasn't a pretty fall. I meant to post that video. I was riding my bike with my girlfriend Dee, and my hat flipped up, and I went forward because I slammed on the brake, and the brake happened to be the front tire instead of both. And then the tire, all you saw with the bike was just the bike tumbled over. The phone was completely fine. And then I did a little kind of a skit. And then my palm is still healing. That was completely exposed. This palm, and then my right knee was really bad. Ugh, it was brutal. But honestly, have you ever had something like an accident or something happen and your whole body, most of us, when we have an accident, there's a jolt of like energy that surges through the body. Like you feel an impact, you feel a trauma. And in my experiences in the past, I've had experiences like this one where I did not feel a shock. I felt like completely solid, completely in my Zen mode, and I stood up unshaken. I wasn't like, freaking out. Whereas other accidents I have. My girlfriend looked at me and said, "Are you okay? Are you sure you're okay?" She goes, "You want to go back now?" I looked at her and said, "No, I'm good. I'm good. We're going to continue." We ended up having a great day. But I wouldn't always recommend that, because fortunately somebody was looking and got some Band-Aids. I patched myself up. And I continued on my way. I was fine. It was a very surreal, divine intervention where I just felt, I didn't feel the pain. I didn't feel the impact. Yeah, concrete. Yeah, I was on the pavement. In fact, I wear these bracelets. I was wearing Lakshmi at the time. Lakshmi exploded and went all over the place, because that's why I have this little one, is because Lakshmi went under my palm. And then I slid forward, and that's how that ended up happening. I might have even had a worse situation on my left hand had that bracelet not been there. I do need a clove of a clove. I believe those are over here. I have everything kind of scattered around in a good way. I know where my herbs are. So we're going to do one clove, because I think anything more is going to be way too much. I might need that for the applesauce. So I wonder if I have a smaller piece. I'm not even going to use the stem portion. I'm going to use just the top of the stem because with cloves, they're extremely strong. I'm going to use just a couple drops of the lemon stevia, and I've got vanilla stevia. I went and got some the other day. What else would I use? Most important things I have over here. Every once in a while, I'll bring out the almond butter. There are some really good brands out there. This one's an okay, but it's not the best. I'm going to use about that much. We'll see. If I need more, I can always add more. I'm going to a banana, because bananas always make everything better. I'll be using that for the applesauce as well. Apple buttery sauce is what I like to call it. I was looking for my old recipes, and I have so many recipes all over the place because I've done so much. Good evening, Casey. Thank you for joining. Banana. Oh yeah, these bananas are needing to be refrigerated. I know the minute Buddy here, if Buddy turns around and he smells the bananas, you'll hear the little tap tap of his toenails, of his paws. We went for a walk this morning. It was so foggy, but it was really nice weather. I like to give Buddy a little bit of banana. And Buddy found himself a big old sandwich. See? You hear that? Everyone hear that? Okay, sit. You stay out of the kitchen. You know that. Sit. Okay. Yeah, good boy. He's not supposed to be in the kitchen. Kenny, Tom is out and about. All right, so we have one banana. What else do I want? I already put that. We're going to try this like it is. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I do want to add a couple things. I'm going to put a little horsetail root and some nettle root because those are very beneficial for healing properties. What I've been doing is using a lot of charcoal to detoxify my body. Activated charcoal, spirulina, chlorella, adaptogenic herbs. I know, right? He's half in the kitchen. I don't know if you can see him over here. I don't think so. Out. 40. Go lay down. Good boy. Sometimes he's been under my butt to the point where I'm like, okay, what are you sensing? Because animals are extremely smart. They pick up on the slightest little shifts and changes in the environment. And he's so sensitive. He's like, okay, something's not right. I don't feel comfortable. And he will let me know. And he will grumble and growl if he hears any type of noise. He's very sensitive. Okay, so we're going to start out with this. Let's see how this turns out. Oh, I didn't put vanilla. That's what we were missing. So we're going to add a couple drops of the vanilla. I just got those. Okay, that was just about 4 drops. Haven't made something like this. I know, he was looking for the nanners, let me tell you. He doesn't miss a beat. He is extremely intelligent. Okay, I like to put, this is nice because it closes and it's a little less noisy, so cover your ears. Alrighty, let's see how this turns out. One of my favorite drinks also to make is I like when I get pistachio butter. Oh my gosh, pistachio butter, and then I can make what I consider the best like version of a nog, banana nog with that. Oh my god, that's so good. See, so something about the lemon. Betty's the best boyfriend. Yeah, exactly, Casey, because let me tell you, he's like the first person to alert me to the noises. Although, it's something like when we go to bed at night, You might hear him grumble, but it's not like he always gets up to check things out. Oh my goodness, this is so good. I haven't had this in a while. I've been needing this. I've been having a lot of inflammation this week. I mean, like, especially in my neck. I've been doing Epsom salt baths. Ladies, if your body is in aching state, jump in the bathtub and just relax with some Epsom salt baths. I've been doing that this week. It's the best thing I could have ever done for myself. I promise I won't make this an all-nighter. This is so good. If you have any questions for me. Yes. Okay. You're here. Come on over. Have a pajama party. I have an 8 a.m. call tomorrow for my Beyond Addiction. It's our first call for this season. I'm stoked. I have a nice group of ladies and one man. Let's try it. I don't know if I'm going to add hot water to this. This is so good just as it is. Once again, didn't write the recipe down. If anybody's out there and they're paying attention, and you want to tell me what I've just put in this, we'll probably end up, waiting with your tongue out. I love that. That's cute, Julie. See, now you know you've been following me long enough when you're like, hey, she licks it, we're good. Hi, Lori. Welcome to the party. So this is our Thanksgiving party. And this is so darn good. I just made a golden milk latte, let's call it. Because I don't know how much. I'd probably say about half a cup maybe of water. Maybe a quarter cup of that coconut cashew forager cream, half and half. The lemon rind of this and that wedge of lemon out of it. Really yummy. That's like probably the height of this. For 3 drops of the lemon stevia, the Omika, and then 4 drops of the vanilla Omika, vanilla stevia. We have nettle root powder, horsetail powder, and probably both of those are about half a teaspoon. And then I put in lucuma, a teaspoon of lucuma, a half a teaspoon of rosehip powder, I'd say maybe a quarter to no more than half a teaspoon of the turmeric. Just some, with black pepper, I wouldn't say put too much, but just enough, because it's just to activate the turmeric. The little round part of a clove. Oh, that's so good. Y'all need to make this, I'm just saying. I'm going to use the hot water to see if this is better with the hot water. Because I'm going to do this. Here we go. Lana's at the fingers. Even with the applesauce, I bet this would be good. It's that tasty. How was your Thanksgiving? Tell me in the comments. For those of you just joining, tell me how your Thanksgiving was. I know if you're with family, sometimes it can be kind of stressful. Thanksgiving was my mom always reminded us that she was born on Thanksgiving. She would always make a point to say that. Even if it wasn't falling on her birthday. Mom's birthday was Tuesday. And my mom was we say a hot shit. She was the bomb. So I had boiled this up before I went live. I'm just going to do this. And then we're going to make up the applesauce. Applesauce. Buttery applesauce. Coconut applesauce. Yeah, that's so good. But cheers to those of you out there hope you've had an amazing day so far. That was a really good call. So, this is going to take a while. If you have any comments, any questions, throw them in the comments. I will answer them as much as I can. Share with me how your day's been, any struggles, anybody out there want advice or need support or feeling compelled to just, I don't know, whatever you need, I'm here for you. That's why I decided to go live. Girlfriend, that's a busy day. Wow, 25 dogs and cats to walk and feed. Woo. And then twice a day, huh? Casey, are you still, in Colorado? If I recall the last time I was looking, we were in Colorado. Okay, so cutting boards are always helpful. I use these because they're easier to work with. I will step back here so you all can see me. And then if I see anything pop up. So I'm going to cut these apples in quarters. And then I'm going to... I tend to... it's really a shame because even with organic apples, I love it. They all seem to sprout in the middle. This tells you they've been sitting too long, some of these. Because you do know that these sit in the... Look at this. Another sprout. I'm finding sprouts all over the place. Now this, I think, is a Fuji. Or a Honeycrisp. Well, we'll find out. I'll attempt to see if I can get that to grow. Okay, Missouri. Many years ago on a road trip far, far and away with my mom, we went to Kansas City, Missouri. And my mom loved, of course, she would bring us to any library there was. And she brought us to the library there. She wanted to move there. My mom was all about getting in the car and traveling, seeing the sights. And she was in my dream this morning, which was really special. I feel like she's more present now since last week's stream, to where she literally is much in a happier state. I can feel her presence being more relaxed, released from the past. And so as I cut this and peel this, I'm going to put them in the blender. I know you're standing there, buddy. I see you. You need to go lay down, honey. No, go. Go. He's like my little keep me company, huh? Go lay down. You know, you're a good boy. Go. Go. He's always, because I give him a lot of treats too. He keeps me company and he gets like the leftovers. And I already just gave him a little bit of the banana. That's exactly what I needed tonight. Because tonight's dinner, we had pad thai and red curry. And if you've ever been out and you notice, depending on how sensitive your palate is, happy Thanksgiving, Trish. They use a lot of sugar. A lot of people don't realize. But the restaurants use sugar to keep you coming back and to enhance the flavors. It doesn't mean it needs sugar. But I can sense the sugar. When I first came back to the States in 2007 or something, from living in Europe, the first thing I noticed was how sugary the foods were. There's no bananas over by the door right now. Yeah. Okay, this piece I'll give him. He's so quick, he'll get that in a heartbeat. I was appalled. I was like, oh my God, it was so sweet. I couldn't even eat it. It was too much. And no food should need to be sweetened like that. So that was back when I first came back in 2007 to visit with a friend. And then I moved back in 2008. And I went back and forth for a couple years. Okay, this is weird. But the food over in Europe was just very simple. There was no extra stuff added. Everything was always made fresh daily. You know, when I used to go buy my groceries, I'd buy them every other day or something, depending on what I needed. You know, pick it up at the market. I had my favorite fruit stand. I remember this time when, it's about this time of year, persimmons are in season. I had my guy. I would buy flats of persimmons. I would go straight to him. They come home with, for like barely paying anything. Whereas today here in the States is crazy. You want to buy persimmons and they want to charge you per persimmon. I'm like, are you kidding me? Especially because they grow in Italy and they grow here too. I mean, I know they grow on the East Coast. We're not quite far enough under the freeze line to have persimmons and certain foods to grow, because when they're the frost line. So if it gets too cold at night, some things won't make it. Like my papaya tree that died and came back to life. It didn't really die. It was just that the frost took all the leaves, fell, it literally burned the tree, and then it came back, and it came back strong, and the fruit on it is so sweet. Happy Thanksgiving, Tracy. Oh, my nose is itchy. So, what are your favorite holiday foods? What did you have this year? And one thing you can't go without when it's this time of year. Happy Thanksgiving, Mary. So yeah, I was posting on Instagram. I posted a picture that I had Tom take back not long after I'd been back from the hospital. Sonic, a fake bad for your body good strawberry shake. Oh, I hear you. My dad likes Culver's. He used to like those Sonic places, but I think Culver's really turned him on to something else. What was I saying? So on Instagram, I made a post with a picture that, seen a few, that it still showed my scar. And I mean, my scar is still there, but it was still, very fresh from having come out of the hospital, considering. And initially, I wanted to share with you my journey healing when I found out all of a sudden, literally the day I wanted to go live, Facebook disabled my old account. And for whatever reason, I don't know. I know there was a couple people that were trying to say I was a fake account and that I was scamming. And seriously, whatever. You know what? There's going to be people out there. They're going to try to say things. And that's on them. And they don't know. And you know what? I'm not here to convince or to force anybody to believe anything that they don't ever believe. You get what you look for. If you're looking for something to complain about, you will find it. If you think everybody's scamming you, it might be a reflection of you being a scammer yourself. I don't know. But everything has some psychological deep-seated something in it. And there are people who are constantly looking for other people to discredit. And guess what? What do you think their deepest seated fear is? People calling them out, probably. It's an interesting dynamic. You can pick up on the psychology of things if you really are in tune enough with yourself. And a lot of times you have to actually be, own your shit to go, oh my gosh, I've done that too. So when I see things, I'm not going to deny that aspect in myself, because all that it is just a denial of self. So our shadow side comes out in the reflection of others and how they show up to us. If we are trying to deny or reject somebody for something, what is it about ourselves that is in that we're denying and not allowing ourselves to see? So whatever's coming through me right now, it's meant for somebody up there. But, hey, maybe I'll get my account back, maybe I won't. I'm not gonna freak out about it. I'm a little bit dismayed because I've had that account since 2006 or 7, when a girlfriend of mine, she was in college, and she reached out and she invited me, because that was back when you had to be invited to Facebook. Happy Thanksgiving, Sue. So, yeah, things like that happen. And there was somebody who said, there was a guy that had contributed to my fundraiser, and I was saying thank you to everybody, and I said thank you to him, and he flipped out. I don't know what was going on there. Something didn't seem right. He turned around and he goes, I didn't do that. And trying to say I scammed or whatever. And I was like, oh gosh, I don't know what's going on, you know. Who knows? Maybe someone was on his account. I don't know. But I'm sure Facebook has a way to, you know, you make a mistake, you can always say, I didn't mean to do that. But you don't turn around and tell the person, try to make it sound like someone scammed you. If you had to have done it knowingly. Especially because if you know that you can send money through Facebook and it doesn't charge you anything, it's another way to send money. So, happy Thanksgiving, Nina. For some people, Thanksgiving's not an easy holiday, and I understand that. I can say that last year wasn't exactly the easiest, being the first year that knowing it was my mom had passed. And like I said earlier, she would always tell us and remind us, it's my birthday, you know. And so I think it's actually my dad's favorite holiday, even though I don't know if it's an interesting dynamic because my parents had divorced. In essence, they started their divorce in 1984, but didn't get divorced because they were going through the state of Maine. The state of Maine is funny about stuff, so they decided to get divorced in Florida instead. And they were divorced in 1988 as a result of having to wait. And I don't know if it made a difference that my mom and, you know, my dad's much more sensitive than he would let the exterior look. So I don't know how much it affected him regarding the holidays with my mom, but I do know that when she passed, he was very melancholy. And every time one of his friends, because he's going to be 73 on the 9th of December, every time a friend of his passes, he's kind of bummed out. He's like, oh my gosh, so-and-so passed. And I get it. I totally get it. You know, we're human. And it's sad when you're people you grew up with. And my dad had a pretty good group of friends from the same time period. And fortunately, one of them he found out is living up the street from us. Well, I say up the street. In Naples, I believe. So he's already been down to visit, which is nice. And it's good for him to connect with his past like that, because I know that means a lot to him. He's doing a lot of weed pulling up at his house. I tell you what, here in Florida, if you don't keep up on weeds, they just continue to take over. I know very well. I've picked and pulled enough weeds in my lifetime. So I know sometimes this isn't the most exciting thing, but like I said, if you have questions or you have any concerns or how's your day going, just shoot me a message in the comments and I will communicate with you. If you even want to go live with me, let me know. That's always fun. Let's give this to Buddy. Buddy likes his little treats, right, Boo? He's just hanging out by the kitchen. He's my little buddy. My buddy Boo. Keeps me company. Make sure I'm looked after. He makes sure that, you know, he doesn't get up, though. If he's in the bedroom with me, it's almost like, I don't know if he thinks I'm protecting him or what. Last night, the lights in the back were going off. And when I say the lights in the back, we have the sensor lights. And I'm laying there going, oh man, I probably should have locked the door. I didn't at that particular time. I forgot. And I was just too comfortable in my bed. You know, we say my bed was so beautiful. And Buddy's laying there and I'm like, Buddy, you're supposed to tell me if something bad's going on outside, right? Right? He's a happy dog, let me tell you. He's a happy dog. He's gotten a whole lot stronger now that I've been walking him down on the waterfront. Again, like the longer hauls. And when the weather gets cooler, he's got some stamina. I mean, he builds up his strength. Yeah, I'm talking about you, mister. Now get out of the kitchen. Out. Out. Good boy. He's so funny. He can be a little spoiled, though. You know, there's something about labs, and my dad and I were talking. They are intelligent. And they're smart enough to know they'll push the limits when they can. Our family dog was a full-bred lab, and he would get up on my bed, and I'd tell him I don't want him on my bed. I would usually only let him up on the bed if he was a little freaked out when it was thunder and lightning, because they don't like thunder and lightning. And then I'd hear him when I'd come home from school, and you hear the pathonk as he hit the floor. I'm like, Pooch, you were on my bed, weren't you? And he's looking at me like, what are you talking about? I was on the floor the whole time. Meanwhile, the bed's warm, right where he was laying. He was definitely an alpha dog. Angel was definitely an alpha dog. She would yell at me. I'm mad at you. My animals have always been quite the personalities. We also grew up with a lot of cats too, so. It's cold here. Got a fleece sheet. So cold. Oh yeah, fleece. I know. It's so hard to get up in the mornings when it's cold. And I've been really chill lately, so my body temperature gets really cold at night. This past weekend I was in Orlando, and I know everybody else around me was pretty warm. I brought my heated mat, which is a negative ionic bed. It's a Solaris bed. I got it from my acupuncturist years ago, and thank God I brought that because it was chilly. And that kept me nice and toasty, nice and warm. Obviously, I'm peeling all the apples. It's really a shame, like I said before. I wish I could have the apples full on without having to peel. I wish I had a tree and I could climb it. I was telling Dad about how when we grew up in Maine, there was a woman, she had the best golden delicious apple tree. She was not a nice lady either, though. She would tell us kids, and we were young, like we're going to eat. I mean, wouldn't you like to think that people would encourage kids to eat fruit? Looking back, right? And she would yell at us, and I don't want you eating my apples. You stay away from my apples. I mean, we climbed the tree. It was high up there. There's a new Parlor House Bistro recently opened up the street. Apparently, I just got a notification for that. Somebody like to explain to me why Google's sending me that kind of stuff, and I did not open the app. Crazy. The kitchen. See what I mean? He walks over that threshold. Well, okay, you can get that because you had to come in. Now I'm going to tell him to get out again. Out of the kitchen. Back it up. There you go. Good boy. Most of the time he's disciplined and listens to me. Does anybody else out there have any pets that don't listen? Or that you have properly trained and they're a lot of fun to play with? Especially little tricks, if your animal does lots of little tricks. Oh, this is going to be a nice batch of applesauce, by the way. Some of my favorite sheets were in Europe I had 1,200 count Egyptian cotton. I'm trying to think if they were Egyptian cotton. Oh my gosh, the best sheets ever. Warm, thread count was in the weave was perfect. But I also like a good jersey or fleece, flannel sheets. I'm really picky. I don't like, what do you call them, synthetics, because they make me sweat and they're not comfortable. Because what you put on your body, too, is big. Your cats are... How old are your cats? Okay, that's a good question, because I remember my grandmother, my mom's mom, she had these old, big, fluffy cats. And they were like, we were kids, and she would tell us stay away from the cats, because the cats would growl. They were like, they were not nice. I don't know what that was about. They were just old and bitter cats. I guess when they get to a certain age, though. And my dad's cat, Wee Wee, Pee Wee, he calls her Wee Wee. She's not exactly the kindest kitty, and she's Daddy's cat. I think I'm the only other one that she'll stick around for, but Nobody else has ever seen her. I think Tom saw her once or twice. And it's only because I've known her the longest. But she still kind of sometimes gets nasty with me. So, all right, now that we've done that, we're past that's what takes the longest, is taking all the skins off, that's for sure. Okay. And sticky hands here. Thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate your time, and I hope this is well worth your evening and time that you could have been doing something else. All right, I personally am just taking the whole lemon, as long as there's no seeds, because it's so yummy. I don't know if I showed you this. Here's the turmeric tea. Turmeric latte. Latte. It's so good. One banana. Because it didn't really pulse it too long, there's still some crunchiness. The cardamom pods and all that are in there. 18 years old. Oh my gosh. Cats live a good long life. So we need some more of those. I love cats. One thing is that I'm not ready to have cats again. They are a little bit more finicky, and the cat litter box stuff, all that doesn't really appeal to me personally. At least with the dog, the nice thing is they go outside. And if you have an outdoor cat, that's great. But here in Florida, when flea season, I think that's one of the things that deters me from getting more animals, to be totally honest with you. Although, somebody had posted a pretty little Labrador doggy, and I'll tell you what, if it was closer, I was this close to getting her, because she was so pretty. She was a little yellow lab, and she had a little white heart on her head. I said, okay, if it were meant to be, she would have been closer. Buddy would have loved her. Yeah, they think they're humans. Oh, cats have their personalities. All animals do, don't they? That's what's really cool. They remind us that we're human, and that they're not exactly, they're not stupid. They're much more aware than we are sometimes. Actually, most of the time, let's say that. They pick up on the energies more than anything. Animals will tell you. Animals will tell you. And pay attention when it's near a full or new moon. I mean, we just had the new moon, was it Tuesday morning? And tell me, are you feeling it? Are you feeling changes in your life? I'm going to start out small, because this is a big lemon. That was from my Meyer lemon tree. So we're going to leave that off to the side. Time for spice. So, where did I put the cinnamon? Is right here. I'm going to probably put quarter of a teaspoon of cinnamon in this. Okay, you need to get out of the kitchen now. You're getting sneaky. Out. Go. Keep going. Nope, you got to go back over the threshold. Go. Yeah, he's like, okay. All right, stick your finger. Do any of you make, what do you call it, applesauce? This isn't being cooked, so I'm not cooking this applesauce. When we were younger, we had apple trees out back. I would go pick the apples, stick them in the oven. We'd core them first, and stick them in the oven. So good. I'm done with this. So no more nutmeg. Nutmeg can be a little strong. You want a lot of nutmeg, obviously, if you're... You know what I'm going to make? Nutmeg's good for the nog. I found a recipe to make, wait for it, baklava. Now, I could ultimately do it probably grabbing some of those, the coconut wraps. I could do the layers like phyllo dough. Instead of phyllo dough, doing the layers and then mixing. I'm telling you, I am making baklava this year. I probably, if I don't do it in the next couple weeks, I'm getting ready to go to solstice, so like the 13th or 14th of December for a week and a half, 10 days. I will be gone, so it's either going to happen before or after. I am making baklava. And it's pistachios. You can use walnuts and pistachios. You can use one or the other. I like pistachio in my baklava. Now, because we have a bigger batch, I'm going to do a little bit more clove. This should be plenty of clove for applesauce. Now, we did the cinnamon, so we got plenty of cinnamon in there. I guess I'll stick that there. What else do I need? Oh, the bananas fell. That might be why the dog was like going, okay. These are going to go in the fridge or the freezer. The joys of cooking, preparing food. We'll put them in the fridge because if there's anything... Oh, I know what I'm needing. I know exactly what I need. Okay, let's see what happened here. I need either... Okay, one of the other sweeteners. Sometimes I'll use raisins or dates. So should I do raisins and or dates? And I've used maple syrup also. I have raisins. So thinking raisins. Raisins have a certain, I don't know what to say. Something. So the raisins are right here. Unfortunate thing about dried fruits is they add oils. Because nobody seems to like when they open up, I'm going to have to take these rings off, when they open up true organic raisins, because they're hard and they're not, you know, I remember when you used to get those little cardboard containers full of the Sun-Maid, because Sun-Maid's the most popular, right? And I'm going to do this much. I'm going to start out with this much, the raisins. I know there's oil in this, even though they don't tell you exactly what kind. It says California organic raisins. Apparently, if they only put a small amount, they don't have to tell you. But there's no doubt in my mind that these have oil in them of some nature. Because how else would they be so moist and plump? Now, I have this chunk of ginger that's going in there, because that's all I got left. I put nutmeg, cinnamon. Something's missing. Oh, the cardamom. Where did I put that container? Right here. I hear you, buddy. You stay over there. No, out of the kitchen. See what I mean? Go, Woody. Go. No. Go. I know. It's a calm night, really. All right. You don't want to overdo it. At least you can always add more. So that's about a little bit over a quarter, maybe a third of cardamom pods, seeds. If I need more, I can add more. All right. So then we add the buttery part. This is what makes it so good. Coconut oil, because this already has coconut oil in it, so you don't have to add coconut oil. I will use at least 2 teaspoons. This is kind of messy. Went to Kundalini yoga this morning to start my Thanksgiving, and it was so awesome. I don't know how many people we were in the room, but it was just a really wonderful class. I'm telling you, it really is a blessing when you can get with community. Mm-hmm. Yum. And this community has saved my life. My biggest stressors, I just go to the yoga studio. All right. We need to add some water. But I know this is warm enough, so. I don't need too much because I don't want to find out how creamy it ends up. So here's the part wherever you want to cover your ears. Oh yeah, the lid. Cover this up. Alright. And we need some more. Turned out. Ooh, that's good. I'm telling you, I haven't had applesauce in a while, so me making this is like primo treat. When your ginger is not super fresh, you end up with these threads of ginger. Not my favorite thing, I'll be honest. Now, as far as anything I would add, vanilla, because I didn't put vanilla yet. And I could do a little bit more lemon. I can definitely taste the cardamom. It's just enough for the buttery sauce. So everything so far is just right flavored. So I'm thinking we'd add this. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate it. Enjoy your time with your granddaughter. And enjoy the rest of your evening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go 5. Well, 6. All right. Sending you my love, darling. Okay, so vanilla and I think a little bit more lemon. Because I like it. I like lemon. Lemon's good for you. Can never get enough vitamin C, citrusy. So we'll do another wedge. Because there's something to be said when you get enough lemon in this that it just really brings out the flavors even more. Let's see. There we go. And then that should be perfect. Meyer lemons are the best. Happy Thanksgiving, Teresa. All right, so lid. All right. Little bit of shake it up. Shake it up. All right, let's see what this is. I might add some more raisins. Just a few more raisins. That's about how much we're going to add. This is how I do my recipes. Taste and go, taste and go. You never know. Alrighty. I know all of a sudden, like, my energy's kind of very relaxed, very calm. Perfect. Okay, that should be. It's actually kind of nice when you get little chunks of it. So here's the result. Mmm. Super yummy. Really, really good. Very healthy for you. Has a little bit of a creaminess because of the coconut butter. Mm-hmm. Very nice. So what I will do to be even better chilled, and that, ideally, if I add it to my kombucha, should make my signature sparkle. Now, I made an apple cider, like an applesauce kind of sparkle years ago, using fresh lemons that had no wax on them, so I was able to use the rind. The most delicious. It had like this. It was just perfect. That's all I'm going to say. And I hadn't been able to recreate it because I hadn't had access to lemon that was so fresh. And I could use the rind. So I may make some of that this week. I'm trying to think. I brewed kombucha last week, and I could make some with this. That's what I'll do sometimes. So, prime example of how I'm going to do this. See how that's fizzy already? This is what we're going to do. We're going to add some of this. It has to be just the right. What am I stepping on? Doo-doo-doo. All right. Not a lot. So you really don't need a lot sometimes, you just enough. And then we'll fill this up. I'm trying to think right now, we want to use this one. That's what it was. I was going to give my dad kombucha before he left. I sent him home with a goodie bag. Oh, this is already looking good. Well, this is already fizzy, that's why. See how fizzy that is? That's the booch. I have to let the fizz go down just a bit. Pop, pop, fizz, fizz. Whoa, what a relief it is. Hello, happy Thanksgiving, Daniel. Let me know in the comments if this is your first time catching me live. Ooh, that's good. I think I might have caught onto something. That might just be exactly what I was trying to recreate. I add just a little bit more though. I'll know in a couple days, that's for sure. So, because I just made this, I'm thinking one day on the counter and then back in the fridge. Because what happens is you don't want it to sit. I'll do the other one. I'm going to do two because then that bottle will be empty. Because this was already brewed and sitting to create the fizz, I'm really picky about my kombucha, so anybody who's had my kombucha knows. Yep, that's exact. I'm pulling out threads of ginger, a glass of wine you cooked for yourself. It sounds to me like a very romantic dinner for you. You know, not a romantic dinner for two, but just you. That's perfect, darling. Sometimes those are the best times. My girlfriend, I was asking her, what are your plans for Thanksgiving? And she said, I don't know. I really don't feel like doing anything. And I sensed something was going to come up for her anyway, but it was so cute because then I saw her today and I said, Happy Thanksgiving. So are you still enjoying your time together by yourself? And she said, no, some people called me up and family and this and that. And I said, okay. I said, I had a feeling you weren't going to be able to spend your time alone, but that's nice to hear because family means, you know, you got time with family. I think that the holidays sometimes are all about putting all that junk aside because we all got something in our families, right? I don't know. Holidays are really about coming together. I don't care if you celebrate it on a commercial level or not. I really do think if you've got an opportunity to spend time with family, I think that's an opportunity for growth. Because it's in relationship we grow, and how we relate, that's where it all is. Okay, now I got to figure out what to do with this last little bit, and I'm not drinking it tonight. I'll just keep it off to the side. So, yes, this turned out to be a smash hit. Maybe I'll write up the recipe a little bit later because it wasn't that difficult. Let me know. Let me know if you try this. It's delicious. It's a bomb diggity. I love you all. I just wanted to get on here, spend a little time, let you know how much I care. I truly do. I was sharing the other day that I'm going to be putting together this business plan that I'm working on. I'm super excited. It's all about my sisters in service, my see, I'm tongue-tied because it's alliteration. It's a lot of S's. Star Spangled Sisters. It's all about women supporting one another, but it is also just as much in support of men. And here's what I'm talking about. As women, we know we do a lot that you can't see because we're internalized. All of our organs are inside. Yours are externalized. Everything is on the outside most of the times. I mean, it's hard because it's hard for men to express themselves. I totally honor and appreciate that. But for us women to be better supporters, better householders, we ourselves need to know ourselves better. And I believe that women need to be with women and men need to be with men. And the best way to do that is creating a very safe and secure environment where we can feel we can be ourselves. As people we can trust and surround ourselves with that support. And the needs that we have, sometimes they're better met by other women. Just like with men, you know better as a man what you need. And so it's tough because we do come from different sensory sides of the house. We are wired differently. And as a woman, as a veteran woman especially, I know I've had a lot of different things that I needed help with. And even though we have veteran services, even those have fallen short. They've gotten a lot better over the years, but I know from my experience what I needed, and that's where I want to show up and help and serve. So again, I'm going to be fixing up the Love Shack. I'm going to come up with a new name because it is a Love Shacky, maybe Shack. I don't know, maybe I'll change it like something more like shabby chic. It'd be Love Shack, Love Chic, something, I don't know. But ultimately, I really want to be able to bring people together and be able to provide services in the meditation, breath work, yoga, workshops, food, anything and everything. Whatever you can think of, we're going to try to make it go. So I love you all. Again, I've asked if anybody knows or has any suggestions or would like to be a part of it. Reach out to me. Let me know in the comments. You can DM me. I'm open to suggestions and ideas. She Shed's overridden too. I'm a little, not so much the she shed, because it's not really a shed. I want it to be more luxurious and embracing. I think that we need to tap more into it. Sanctuary, I love. The Love Sanctuary. That I can work with. Because I really want to sacred space, you know. I was looking initially at calling it the Adi Shakti Sanctuary. I had this whole thing with the Sassy Vibes, and Sassy Vibes actually is a huge acronym that I come up with as well. When I was first looking at just doing the retreats, of which I am still doing my retreat to Italy next year. I haven't got the dates yet, but I'm excited for that. Yeah, I'm here to support on a bigger level, And I really want to reach and extend that out to all of you too. So I love you. And again, from my heart, I am feeling so much better. It's still a long road to recovery, even after the 3 marks post operation for my appendectomy, but I'm getting there. And I'm going to go to bed early tonight because I got to get up early in the morning for my Beyond Addiction class. So have an amazing rest of your Thanksgiving evening. Be more reflective and search and see, what is it that you are so grateful that you already have? There's so much to be grateful for. So, sweet dreams. I love you very much.